Good afternoon, class of 2020, family and friends. I am Reverend Donald Phillips, chaplain of Albion College. It is my honor to be able to present and share this prayer and invocation today. Before I pray, many may wonder, how can we celebrate in times like these? How can we find the strength in all that is going on around us to distract us? The scripture in 1 Thessalonians 5 says, "In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you." And so we are reminded that even in times of challenge, we have things to celebrate. And certainly the accomplishment of these students, of you all, and the work put together by family and friends is worthy of that celebration. Let us pray. Gracious God, we do thank you for this day. We thank you for an opportunity to gather in a virtual space to celebrate the accomplishments of these students, to celebrate the support of family and friends, to celebrate the investment of teachers and professors, to celebrate a milestone in their life. We pray that your grace and mercy would be upon us on this day, that you would bless all who would have gathered, even here in this social space. We pray that we would become more connected and not disconnected, even though we are separated by time and space. We pray that we would be able to celebrate and remember the accomplishments of these students. We ask now that you would give us grace in these days, grace to face the challenges ahead, grace to make courageous decisions about futures, about vocations and calling. May we have a glad heart and be thankful again for all that you have done with us and for us. This we pray in your name. Amen. And now, let me introduce Alexandra Alcazar, class of 2020.
Hello, everyone. I'm very thankful for having the opportunity to welcome you all here today. I know that today we would have been very excited to be reunited in Albion, whether it was to see us walk across stage or maybe have a little celebration afterwards. But let's not be disappointed. Our time will come. Meanwhile, let's take this time to enjoy the company that we have with our families and recognize that it is a privilege to be together during these times. And as mentioned, although we didn't envision ourselves to be here in this position, it's still important to pause and take note of this special moment. I mean, it's not like you have anything else to do, right? So let's use today as a day of gratitude and think about everyone who helped us achieve this milestone. I also want to remind everyone that although it seems like just an ordinary day, it's not, because today's the day we become Albion College alumni. And I heard that we're the best of the best. This also means that it is our time to shine and make an impact on this world, and our time has just begun. I mean, I know I'm a little bit scared, but we got this. Thank you. Hola a todos, estoy bien agradecida por tener la oportunidad para darle a ustedes la bienvenida en el día de hoy. Y primeramente les quiero dar gracias a ustedes por tener el tiempo para abrir sus computadoras, porque ese era el primer paso. Ya sé que en este día de hoy estuviéramos bien excitados para estar reunidos en Albion, pero no se decepcionen, mi gente. Hay que disfrutar la compañía que tenemos con nuestras familias y reconocer que es un privilegio estar juntos durante estos tiempos. Y esto va para los padres. Yo sé que un día como hace 4 años les hacía bien difícil dejarnos ir. Para muchos de ustedes, como en mi caso, somos los bebés de la casa. Pero sigue tratándonos como sus bebés porque todavía los necesitamos a ustedes. Para muchos de nosotros se nos hacía difícil el estar aquí en el día de hoy. Muchos de nosotros somos de primera generación, sea ciudadano o estudiante del colegio. Y aunque se nos hacía imposible tomar presencia en este día de hoy, aquí estamos. Mis padres hicieron el sacrificio de dejar su país para que yo estuviera aquí en el día de hoy hablando con ustedes. Noches sin dormir, años de engordar y mucho estrés y mal alimento después, aquí estamos. Y nunca lo hubiéramos hecho sin ustedes. Gracias por consentirnos cada vez que íbamos a la casa y preparándonos nuestros propios menús. Y gracias por mandarnos dinero cuando solamente teníamos como unos $4 en la cuenta. Pero al final, gracias por ser nuestra gran motivación. Y que no se les olvide, sí se puede, mi gente. Muchas gracias. And now I would like to introduce the president of Albion College, Dr. Maury Disler.
Thank you, Alondra. Doesn't it seem like years and years ago that I came to visit you in high school in Chicago on your last day of high school and congratulated you on your acceptance to Albion College. I'm so glad you came to Albion College, and we're so proud of the great work that you've done here. And also, thank you, Reverend Phillips. Good afternoon. As you can see, I'm standing in front of a purple wall. That wall's in my office. From this position, I can look out and see our campus. I can see three iconic images. The spire on the chapel, right? Don't you just love that spire? When I return to Albion from a visit to my farm in Indiana, I'm often driving back to Albion late at night. And about midnight, I come over the hill from the south, and the first thing I see is that spire lit up against the night sky. When I see that, I know I'm almost home. I can also see the dome of the old observatory. That's a very special place to me as well. It reminds us that this campus has been here for a long time, and that we've been educating people for over 100 years, over 150 years, and those graduates have gone on to do remarkable things. And finally, I can see the Petherick Walk of Scholars. Had we done a normal graduation, you would have just walked through that. That's a special place for me for several reasons. One, it honors our scholarship donors from the many years of the college. And some of you would have had trouble coming to Albion College, and certainly we would have had trouble running this college without the funds from those scholarship donors. The other thing I like about that is there are benches in that circle. I hope that many of you have accidentally, serendipitously encountered a faculty member on your walk around campus over the last 4 years. You've looked for a bench, like the benches in the Petherick Circle of Scholars, and sit down and had a conversation. Hope some of those are your richest memories of campus. As I look to the left, or if I could look to the left, I would see the steps of the Kresge Gymnasium. Normally, that's where we'd be doing a graduation. I think it's one of the most beautiful places in America for a graduation. I've done probably 50 graduations at lots of places. I've done them at Albion in that beautiful setting, but I've also done them in a lot of football stadiums, sometimes with old closed down textile mills as the background. I've done them on a hockey rink. I've done them in a pavilion in a city park. I've done them in hot, sweaty gymnasiums. Sometimes the weather is beautiful, like it is on the day that we're taping this. Other days it's too hot or it's raining. Sometimes we have to scamper inside of a gymnasium soaked to the bone and do a real quick graduation. So graduations happen in all kinds of places under all kinds of circumstances. But you know, as I think back on those, it's not the place for the graduation that I remember. It's the people that I was with. It's the people that were being honored. At some of those graduations, 2 or 3 of them, I got a diploma myself. But most often, I was there enjoying the fact that we were honoring others. And that's what made them very special. I remember sitting at the top row of a football stadium with my 3 children when my wife was graduating from college. That was special. I remember going to my children's graduation. All those were special, particularly for my son, who we didn't expect would even graduate from middle school. And there he was, getting a graduate degree and a diploma. Also very special. So remember that while you're missing the beauty of the Albion campus, the real beauty is the people that are involved and the people that you will remember and the people who are excited about your being there. Your parents don't care where this graduation is occurring. What they care is that they're honoring you, and it's a very special accomplishment. So within the social distancing guidelines, look at those who are with you. Give them a smile, and if you're watching this 2 or 3 months from now, make sure you reach over and squeeze their hand. This is going to be a good graduation, even though it's in slightly unusual circumstances. At this time, I would like to recognize all the members of the Board of Trustees. They are joining us remotely, some from here in Albion, some from around the country. We so appreciate the support that they've given for our graduates over the last 4 years, and we know that they're thinking of our graduates today, even though they can't be with us here today. Thank you very much, trustees. A tradition of an Albion graduation is to pay tribute to retiring faculty and staff, and we are honoring 3 individuals today. A childhood fascination with dinosaurs led Bill Bartels to the 34-year tenure at Albion College that we celebrate today. Since 1986, Bartel has taught paleontology courses, mentored student researchers, and led the Department of Geological Sciences summer field camps in remote areas of the Western United States. For almost all of this time, Bartels also held the title of Adjunct Research Scientist with the University of Michigan's Paleontology Museum. He has published dozens of research papers with students and professional colleagues and mentored dozens of student research projects in vertebrate paleontology and paleoecology. Bartels has received 6 teaching and mentoring awards from Albion College, and he has been presented 2 Advisor of the Year awards from the Interfraternity and Pan-Hellenic Councils. He has also held the Arnold G. Langbo Endowed Trusteeship Professorship. Bill Bartels was recently granted emeritus status by the Board of Trustees. With the assistance of his wife, Carol, Bob came to Albion in 2000 to establish Albion's kinesiology department, then a part of our physical education program. Today, exercise science is among Albion's 5 most popular majors, with Bob chairing the kinesiology department from its creation nearly 10 years ago until 2019. Bob's coursework has ranged from gross anatomy taught with specimens to advanced athletic training, research and statistics in kinesiology, biomechanics, and courses designed for first-year students and members of the Wilson Institute for Medicine. He has published research on athletic training education, written chapters for a gross anatomy textbook, and has held leadership positions on a number of college committees. Bob Moss was recently granted emeritus status by the Board of Trustees. A member of Albion's faculty since 1979, Ann McCauley is the immediate former W.W. Deal Professor of Art and Art History. Along with teaching printmaking, book arts, creative process 2D, and advanced drawing, she has worked with art historian Billy Wickery to teach history of prints. She has also collaborated with English professor Helena Mesa, guiding students in combined creative writing and visual arts projects. With Wickery, Macaulay founded Albion's Celadon Press, which has published student and faculty scholarship on Albion's alumnus, Philip C. Curtis, and 2 catalogs documenting Albion's print collections, Images of Women and Modern American Prints. Macaulay regularly participates in residencies and juried exhibitions in the United States and Europe. With faculty colleagues Barbara Keyes in Psychological Sciences and Dale Kennedy in Biology, she led the development of the college's Foundation for Undergraduate Research, Scholarship, and Creative Activity. Macaulay has been recognized as Albion's new Teacher of the Year, and Phi Beta Kappa Scholar of the Year. Ann McCauley was recently granted emeritus status by the Board of Trustees. At this time, it is my privilege to introduce graduating senior Sunny Kim. Sunny is a native of Midland, Michigan. She double majored in music and economics and management and is involved in a great many student organizations, too many, in fact, to mention. One of the joys of being at a small school is that I remember so much about all of you. And I remember the day that Sunny announced that she was coming to Albion College. We're all so glad she made that decision. Sunny just recently learned that she's been awarded a Fulbright English teaching assistantship to Mexico for 2020-2021. Please join me in welcoming Sunny Kim as she presents the senior class address.
To the class of 2020. This is a little weird, isn't it? I never thought that I would be doing this from behind a screen, but here we are. For me, this is very special. I remember I got to speak in front of you all during our matriculation ceremony 4 years ago on our very first day of college. And I remember being absolutely terrified of speaking in front of you all because you were just merely strangers at the time. And now I count it as a complete honor to speak in front of you all today on our last day. Except now you are not strangers in any way. You are all my friends, coworkers, partners in crime, and the future of our generation. I thought really long and hard about what I wanted to say, but it's difficult to find the words. I'm sure a lot of you can understand it certainly has been a roller coaster of emotions during the last 2 months. This class of 2020 has truly been through it all. We started off our college careers with an incredibly controversial presidential election. We have fought our way for open dialogue and community in the midst of radical social, racial, and culture change on our campus. And now we are ending it on a world pandemic. I feel as if we, the seniors, had this plan, or at least this vision of what the last 2 months of our time as an Albion College student would look like. And then this uncontrollable thing comes in and bamboozles us all. For me personally, I plan to have this big senior violin recital. I started planning for this ever since I was a freshman. It's been this thing I have been preparing for 4 years. All this practicing, learning, playing, putting in these long hours and effort with a lot of finger blisters in between. I would watch seniors year in year after me give their own senior recitals, and then I would dream about what mine would look like. Looking back, I think I relied way too heavily on this reputation that, oh, I'm Sunny Kim and I'm super extra, because I wanted the hors d'oeuvres and I wanted to have it catered, I wanted to recarpet Goodrich, and I wanted this beautiful gown, and all of my friends and family there applauding me, and that was the vision that I had. However, because of this virus, I didn't get to have this extravagant recital. I was clearly bummed and devastated about not having one, and I'm sure a lot of you seniors can relate to this, but I felt like I was robbed of this moment, this feeling of being accomplished and validated after years and years of hard work. I remember crying on March 12th at 7 p.m. to my friends about this, and I remember Michael Martin, along with my other good friends, at the 11th hour threw an impromptu recital for me. So I put on my good lashes and my dress, and there we were at Goodrich Chapel at 9 p.m. I didn't have the frills or the extra stuff that I thought would make this day special. Instead, it was just me and my violin and the music. And when I played that last note, it hit me. I realized that was it. That was 4 years of me agonizing over the music, 4 years of me on the floor of the basement of Goodrich crying, all that blood, sweat, and tears, and that was it. And it was so special because at the end of the day, I realized that's all I wanted. It wasn't about the prestige or the title or the attention that I thought I wanted. I realized that it's more about these moments, and I just wanted one moment with my music. It's about the last minute of your last game, your last team huddle, your last hug, your last meeting, the last event you plan, the last note you play, the last dance you do, the last bow, and even that last game of Foot Cup. I realize that is why we work so hard for the years that we are here. We work ardently for these moments in the end, and sometimes those moments can be taken away from us. I remember I wrote a commencement speech at the beginning of spring break because I knew I wanted to try out to be a speaker. And then when everything hit the fan a few weeks later, I looked back at my original speech that I wrote and thought, oh my God, I can't submit this. But my original message was, bloom where you are planted. This is a valuable piece of advice that I received a couple of years ago from an Albion alumnus. I feel like in this stage of life, a lot of people ask us seniors what we're going to do in the future. As ambitious as this is, I feel like a lot of us then forget to bloom in the present. What this alumnus told me was, if you're in high school, be the best high school student. If you're in college, be the best college student. If you're a parent, be the best parent. If you're a boss, be the best boss. What I really took away from that is that it will always be noble to shoot for the stars, to reach for that next level. But the only way that we can get there is to truly embrace the present moment that we have right now. And thinking about it, I guess this is somehow related. I feel as if we never know the value of a moment until it goes away. It sounds super cliche and cheesy, but it's so true. The moments that we strive for can be taken away as quickly and as easily as they come. And I don't know about the rest of you guys, but this whole situation definitely made me feel thankful for the moments that we do have right now and that we did have at Albion College. Time after time, when students answer the question, what's the best thing about Albion? The answer is almost always the people. I'm sure this virus situation hit us differently because social distancing has made it difficult for us to experience that community feeling again in a tangible way. However, the bonds that we have with each other and the moments we shared and will share again are unshakable. May we never take a moment for granted again. May we never take a connection that we share with someone for granted ever again. I'm talking about those moments in which you aspire for. Maybe it's the relief of finally doing something that you've had anxiety about. Maybe you're doing what you love, your passion. Maybe you're surrounded by the people you love the most. Maybe you're having game night with your family. Maybe you're laughing so hard with your friends that you cry. It's these moments, because the one thing that we will never have enough of is time. So all in all, cherish the time that you have with yourself, with others, and with your passions, because you never know when it will become your last. Life is a finicky queen. It wouldn't be like the class of 2020 to leave naturally, I guess. Congratulations, seniors. This is our moment.
About 4 years ago, I stood before you in the chapel and welcomed you to Albion College. How many of you remember what I said? Yeah, I didn't think the number would be very high. Good thing I kept my notes. I told you that your world would change. Little did we know. Your college years found you in the midst of historical conversations, movements, and experiences. Certainly none of us predicted how we'd be wrapping up our time together. I mean, be honest. How many of you aren't wearing pants right now? I told you 4 years ago that your time at Albion would fly by, and it did, didn't it? At matriculation, what seems like forever ago, I advised you to savor your days at Albion College, to treat them like they are important moments on which you will reflect for the rest of your life. So when I asked you to actually do that, to think about what or who inspired you, what your first impressions were, what you remember about your classes, your activities outside of class or other experiences, I was impressed by the number of responses I received. Over 1/3 of you provided the quotes and memorable words I'm using today. You wrote, "Albion believed in me," and "Albion College is where you can be yourself." You were inspired and mentored by faculty to dream big and accomplish goals. Your time here was definitely an adventure, life-changing, and the best 4 years of your life. In fact, it was a whirlwind, but something you wouldn't trade for the world. Many of you fell in love with the town of Albion, and Albion College became your home away from home. You made memories to last a lifetime, didn't you? Yeah, you did. You'll remember this day, these last 7 weeks, these past 4 years forever. As I do with my undergrad years, you'll think of these days often with words like incredible, transformative, comical, irreplaceable, expensive, worth it. Soon your time at Albion College will become a memory, removed but not replaced by life's other big events. And as you live your life, I have 3 pieces of advice I hope you remember. My first piece of advice is that you should find your passion and make that your life's work. My friend's son was recently hired as an athletic trainer with one of the minor league affiliates of the New York Mets. He told me, even on those really early mornings, that he was excited to go to work every day. I told you 4 years ago that I loved college so much, I never really left. Most days, I think we professors are pretty excited to come to work too. We love teaching, talking, socializing, helping to transform you into whom you are meant to be. We love what we do. And I wish the same for you. Do what you love so that you can love what you do. You and your classmates will make history. In fact, you already have, as the honorees of the first virtual commencement in the college's history, and the first class to have 2 graduation ceremonies. One of you wrote, "How lucky I am to have found a place that has made it so hard to leave." So I hope all of you will come back to campus in the fall to walk the faculty gauntlet, to shake hands or rub elbows or whatever gesture will be the new normal then, to really celebrate what it means to be a Briton, to celebrate one of the most important experiences of your life and to celebrate connections that will last a lifetime. Because they should. The best college connections should last a lifetime. Last week, I had a virtual happy hour with my girlfriends from college. All these years later, we still get together, catch up by talking and laughing nonstop, toasting our successes, and learning from our failures. I wish the same for you. My second piece of advice is to cherish these connections with your family of friends for the rest of your life. No matter what, once a Brit, always a Brit. Just ask the locals. Your education, friendships, and experiences will last far beyond graduation. The long nights, hard work, and determination have created everlasting memories and opportunities for you. My third piece of advice is to go out into the world and do great things. And remember that Albion College will always be waiting for you to come home. Make every day a great day to be a Brit. Congratulations, seniors, and go Brits! Please welcome back to the virtual stage President Ditzler, Chairman of the Board of Trustees Don Sheets, and Provost Mark Roy.
By the formal action of the Albion College Board of Trustees, you, President Ditzler, are authorized to confer the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Fine Arts upon those candidates approved by the faculty and certified by the Provost as meeting the requirements for those degrees.
President Ditzler, these are the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Fine Arts. They have completed their respective programs of study, and the faculty has approved their qualifications. It is a pleasure to present them to you at this time for the conferring of their degrees.
Members of the class of 2020, by the authority vested in me by the state of Michigan and by the trustees of Albion College, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Fine Arts with all the rights, honors, and privileges pertaining to the degree. As is the tradition at commencement ceremonies, and as a symbol of your newly achieved academic status, I now invite the graduates to move your tassels from the right side of your cap to the left. The graduates' names will now be presented individually in recognition of their accomplishments. Albion College prides itself on giving personal attention to students from the first tour of campus to graduation. In honor of that, at this ceremony, I will be individually signing your diploma as your name is being read.
Viren Blessing Abin. David Adams, summa cum laude. Alexandria Q. Adel, cum laude. Ethan M. Arts, summa cum laude. Alondra Alcazar, cum laude. Isabel Anna Alloway, summa cum laude. Carla Aranda. Bradley Thomas Arntz. Shreya Aryal. Emma E. Atkinson. Andrew D. Baker. Mary Elizabeth Baker, summa cum laude. Subade Barksbade, magna cum laude. Daniel M. Barrett. Jessica Sawyer Bierman, magna cum laude. Christopher Carlin Lee Bell. Callie Marie Belt. Kristen Irene Benson. Mary Mullen Berger, cum laude. Emily Diana Burness, cum laude. Juliana Corin Berry. Seth Edmund Bivens, magna cum laude. Daria C. Bloomfield, cum laude. Chase T. Bouchard, cum laude. Ava L. Boyd, cum laude. Christopher Jack Breen. Sarah Renee Britton, summa cum laude. Hannah Noel Britton. Kelly Brown, magna cum laude. Ashley Rose Buchanan. Riley Madison Burnett, magna cum laude. John James Butler, Jr. Karen Marie Carroll, magna cum laude. Griffin L. Caudell, summa cum laude. Jamie Kazarin. Brianna E. Sharon. Andrew J. Shillette. Scott Leonard Czarnecki, cum laude. Marco Antonio Colmenares, Jr. Brooke Elizabeth Corey, cum laude. Jaleesa Cortez. Rebeka Ann Crane. Madeline Mary Darby, cum laude. Altanzal Deva Oker. Marley R. Dawson, summa cum laude. Scott Michael DeMello. Zarek Robert Trent Dill, magna cum laude. Sydney Mae Dillon. Adam W. Dietrich. Charles Michael Downey, summa cum laude. Irby Dwa, cum laude. Riley Elizabeth Grace Eating, magna cum laude. Alexis N. Emmons. Alicia Espinoza. Tyler Eister, summa cum laude. Timi Fadayomi. Ethan Timothy Fennell. Jordan A. Finney. John F. Fleming, cum laude. Kylie Marie Flynn, cum laude. Nathaniel A. Friesweig, magna cum laude. Sarah Jane Fuller, summa cum laude. Jean Gaffney. Elizabeth Gabrielle Garcia. Brandon Joseph Gary. Sierra Ana Maria Garza. Michelle Lynn Gervais, summa cum laude. Allie Marie Gazicki. Elizabeth L. Glenn, magna cum laude. Alyssa D. Gornovich. Lillian May Grant, magna cum laude. Scott Francis Grant. Kelsey Joe Gustafson. Matthew Edward Guthrie. Megan Elizabeth Guthrie. Laura Nicole Huckamaki. Alex James Harrell. Megan Elizabeth Harvey. Dejanique Eamon Hayes. Stephen Ogden Hagenauer. Gabrielle Henriksen, magna cum laude. Haven Marie Hill, magna cum laude. Marquise Aaron Hill. Trevor Allen Hill. Jonathan B. Hines. Caleb A. Hinton. Catherine Marie Herzl. Alexandra Rose Horman, cum laude. Noah Patrick Horvat, cum laude. Lauren Elizabeth Huggett, summa cum laude. Kelsey Monroe Inman. Sriraksha Shaker Iyengar. Maroon Jargal. Kristen May Jarzembowski, cum laude. Jeffy Jean-Claude. Kelsey Ann Jarko. Marcy N. Jones. Shakira Lene Jordan. Kyle William Cabot, cum laude. Taylor Jessica Carnes, cum laude. Kevin Cartonata. David Nicholas Koff. Sarah Rose Kilbreth, summa cum laude. Sunny Kim, magna cum laude. Tyler William Kimbrell, cum laude. Emily Ann Kinzer, cum laude. Edmund Pierre Kirouac, cum laude. Alfonso Kitching. Jonas E. Lamont. Brittany Nicole Lutz, cum laude. Tyler Wayne Lewis, summa cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth McMaster, summa cum laude. Sarah Martine Masick, cum laude. Jasmine Alisha Maddox. Olivia N. Malekas. Carolyn Elizabeth Nazareth Manning, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Rose Mansour, summa cum laude. Brendan Christopher Marino. Jordan A. Marmol, cum laude. Venus Celeste Moretto. Marlon D. Martin Jr. Michael Cleveland Martin, magna cum laude. Zachary Marvin, cum laude. Brianna Leanne McAuliffe, cum laude. Nicole Marie McCann, magna cum laude. Lige Scout McKinney. Trevor Adley McManus. Lyda S. McRoberts. Chase J. Mead, cum laude. Bernadette Page Malima, magna cum laude. Alverson Flynn Mitchell, cum laude. Ian C. Moran. Macy Faye Moss. Joshua Zachary Murray Moyler. Catherine Elizabeth Mullins, magna cum laude. Darcy Munns, cum laude. Nikki Murray. Tiffany Christina Newman. Shaman Jerry Newsom. Kayla Ann O'Malley. Ipanasi Ulawafifumi Ogundari. Talia Agavni Oknayan. Marcus Ferenz Ola Jr. William James Owens. Hannah Lynn Parisi. Kiwan Malcolm Perry, cum laude. Donald Casey Porter. Caitlin L. Porter, magna cum laude. Natalie Christine Purcell. Lucas G. Raphael, summa cum laude. Mara Noel Ranger, cum laude. Hannah Kathleen Irene Reamer, magna cum laude. Marceline Cadiz Reddick, cum laude. Jessica L. Reynolds. Zachary A. Reynolds. Grant Kevin Richardson. Sean Roberts, cum laude. McLean Lowell Robertson, magna cum laude. Rebecca Marcela Rodriguez. Jaya Victoria Ragona Rome, cum laude. Grace Tyler Rowe, cum laude. Sydney M. Rudowski, magna cum laude. Paige Helen Rumler, cum laude. Abigail E. Sanabria. Curtis Allen Sanford, magna cum laude. Riley Dwayne Sauter. Coleman King Schindler, cum laude. Rachel McKenna Schott, summa cum laude. Demetrius Alexander Romaine Scott. Mary Elizabeth Saramer, cum laude. Evan Joseph Surinck. Kendra Diana Shannon. Scott Hunter Shepard. Toma Kareem Shingu. Alyssa Lynn Siders. Zakayla M. Slater. Grant Reed Smith, cum laude. Cody Thomas Smith, cum laude. Lorraine K. Smith. Victoria Ann Smith, magna cum laude. James Charles Spilko, cum laude. Savannah Lynn Spring. Shelby Nicole Stagel. Riley Jeffrey Stazak, cum laude. Morgan Marie Stewart. Sarah Victoria Strong, cum laude. Jessica Emily Sysak, magna cum laude. Madeline Grace Thomas. Alex Robert Toki. Sydney Elizabeth Treist, summa cum laude. Alexander Trujillo. Ryan Scott Underwood. Erin Elizabeth Vandervlut. Phoebe Gwendolyn Varney. Virginia Jocelyn Verlade. Jonathan Edmundo Velasco. Janina C. Villabrosa, cum laude. Cameron L. Voss, summa cum laude. Sydney M. Walker. Christopher Jordan Wallace. Jantaj R. Wallace II, summa cum laude. Alex J. Warman. Catherine Blythe Warren. Samantha Ann White, summa cum laude. Margaret Colleen Whitlock, magna cum laude. Jacob R. Wickens. Evelyn Wishmeyer, magna cum laude. Scott Hunter Wistinghausen. Emily Ray Wolford. Mackenzie Kathleen Yob, magna cum laude. William S. Uhas. This next list of students either graduated last December or they will graduate at the end of the summer or in the following December and have chosen to walk with their class. Zainab Fatima Ahmed. Nathan Alexander. Richard Jefferson Anarat. Alisha Bailey. Brittany Barron. Chase E. Baumgardner. Christina Marie Beaupre. Logan Daniel Bollinger, cum laude. Sean Antonio Bonner, Brielle Brown, Malik Bozell, Alexander Thomas Boucher, Jason Darrell Burr, Kiera Bush, Marisa Bush, cum laude, Bean Fidel Fabian Cabanizas, cum laude, Alexandra Carducci, Austin Carr, magna cum laude, Saralis Enid Correa, Victoria Sade Nicole Crenshaw, Patrick Czarnecki, Eli Angelo Dietrich, Anna Durango, Victoria M. Dulac, magna cum laude, Trey Anthony Edwards, Rebeka A. Enders, Victor M. Esteban, Michael James Flashens, Emily G. Garcia, Lane R. F. Gott, Rochelle Jenna Hawkins, Abby Marie Grimes, cum laude, Alexis Herrera, Colton L. Hollenbeck, Caitlin Ann Hooper, cum laude, Christian Javier Hurtado, Toyel Johnson, Alira Almonte Canet, cum laude, Gabriel F. Kribs, Sangyun Lee, cum laude, Matthew LaPalme, Anna Christine Lewis, magna cum laude, Nathan Terry Lucia, Christopher W. Ludington, Andre Mailing, Christian Marquez, Darius D. D. Maston, Brandon Benjamin Matthews, Jayla Danae McFall, Kayla R. McQuinn, magna cum laude, Nikita M. Mahaney, Madeline Sophia Monroy, Jeffrey Montgomery, Samantha Morales, Moira Mosher, cum laude, Meredith Nelson, summa cum laude, Alexandra L. Ottman, Ray Page, Alec K. Palmer, summa cum laude, Chase M. Palmer, summa cum laude, Draven Whitney Patterson, Zachary Taylor Plummer, William Prince Powers Jr., Sadhna Ramanathan, Samuel K. Riley, cum laude, Desmond Theodis Robinson, Paige Elaine Risch, Jeremy Mitchell Rusikoff, magna cum laude, Carolina Sandoval, Gerardo Wiedebro Sigismondi, Kyle McLean Smith, Daniel Jefferson Stewart, Jacob Matthew Swift, Mai Nguyen Tran, cum laude. Tia A. Ulaimi. Andriana Velasquez. Isaac Hampton Verhelst, magna cum laude. Marcus Q. S. Weatherspoon. Carlton L. Williams II. Jack Woodrow.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Now, let's welcome back the chair of the Board of Trustees, Don Sheets, class of 1982.
Thank you, Maury. First, on behalf of the Albion College Board of Trustees, congratulations. The degrees you've earned by your hard work over 4 years are now fully yours. No matter if you are the first in your family to attend college or you come from a long line of college graduates, the value of an Albion College degree is priceless. You now join the ranks of our alumni family, and you can count on our support for the rest of your lives. We are that committed, and we are that strong. The history of this pandemic will be written later and will be something talked about and studied for generations to come. But this moment does not define you, even though you will always have stories to tell about these times. Today, we celebrate your hard work over 4 years to get here. History is a running stream, and our current moments are but a bend in the river. So much is yet to come from you, and so much is expected and needed from you. For me, this is a moment of great pride in you and in our college and in our community. Tomorrow, I am stepping down as chairman of the Board of Trustees after 8 years of service in that role. I so much enjoy being able to shake the hands of our graduates at commencement, something that for the last time I won't get to do. But we move forward. We move ever forward. As I leave this role, I want to thank Dr. Maury Ditzler for his leadership and his partnership in our work together. As you know, Maury is retiring after a lauded career in higher education. He has done amazing things at Albion College, and he has earned some time back on his family farm. There are no words to describe the deep gratitude of the Board of Trustees for his leadership and for his personal example set during his administration. He has done all that he came to Albion to do, and so much more. Today is all about our graduates and their families and friends. But allow me to observe that Maury Ditzler is responsible for so much that each of you cherishes about your time at Albion College. The same is true for me. Maury has become a dear friend, and I am proud to have served with him at our college. Maury, congratulations on a job well done. The Board of Trustees wishes you and Judy well in your retirement. Please welcome back President Maury Ditzler.
Well, it's about that time. We need to wrap up these 2 or 3 or 4 years that you've been at Albion College. 4 years seems like a long time, but you know, there are faculty and staff who have been here 30 or 40 years. Funny thing, though, about 4 years as a student, I think that no one can quite match your understanding of Albion College based on 4 years as a student. Even 40 years as a faculty member, you can't quite understand the college in the same way that those very special years as a student. I, too, am wrapping up my time at Albion College. I've been here a bit longer than 4 years, but not nearly as long as many of our faculty and staff. So like you, I'm thinking back on those opening days at Albion College. What I remember from my first time on campus. You know, for me, I have a strong memory of my first matriculation ceremony. It was a few years before you arrived. but I wasn't yet an employee. It was in late May or early June, and I didn't start till July. But I had come up to participate in a matriculation and see what Albion College students were like and see what was happening at this special institution. And so I walked from my office across campus and I approached the chapel. And as I approached the chapel, there was a car parked right in front of the chapel, and there was an incoming student and her mother waiting in the car. Clearly, they'd gotten up early to get the best parking spot on campus. And they'd been waiting a while. The window was down. And they had decided it was just the right time to make their entrance. And so the young student, the young woman, opened the car door and stepped out and waited impatiently for her mother doing what mothers have done for decades, fumbling with her purse and getting things ready to follow her daughter into the chapel. And just before they headed in that direction, the young woman said, "Okay, let's get this thing started." And then she slammed the car door with great confidence and energy. And it must have been a Detroit-made car because there was that good solid thump of the door closing the car. And she and her mother walked into the chapel with a great deal of confidence. I remember thinking, this is going to be fun, right? Think about these students. Think about this young woman. She's nervous about starting college, but she's not showing any nervousness at all. She's saying, let's get this started. Let's get going on this. And you know, all of you have done that. You've walked to Albion College. There's been a challenge there, but you've stepped forward and you said, I know I can rise to that challenge. I know I can make it. Let's get this started. It's going to last 4 years, and then it's going to last much longer than 4 years. It's going to last a lifetime after Albion College. And you're moving into that phase today. Remember your own matriculation? One of the things we asked you to do was come to a microphone and speak your name. If you remember, I said, speak it with confidence, speak it with gusto, act as if you belong, because you do. And then I told you that in saying your name, you were pledging that you were going to work remarkably hard, that you were going to be honest and honorable in your work, and that you were going to live up to all of your great promise. 4 years later, today, you heard Provost Roy read your name. You read yourself into the community. He read you into the group of graduates. And when he read your name, he was thinking very much of what it was you were saying. You were pledging to work hard, and he was acknowledging that, in fact, you had been good to your word. You'd lived up to your name. You had worked hard, you had worked with integrity, and you were ready to be a graduate of Albion College. And we're so proud of you. And then after you spoke your name, do you remember that as you walked off the stage, I gave you a matriculation coin? I have a copy of it here today. Hope some of it kept it with you. I suggested that you might want to do that you might want to carry it with you, that you might think about it as a good luck coin. I know that some of you did, because as I passed you on campus just before you headed home, some of you told me, I still have that coin. I've carried it with me every day. You know, that's what I wanted to happen. 15 years ago, when I was starting this business as a president, and I was thinking about doing matriculations and graduations, I said, I want something very special to signify the work students are going to do together. And I was struggling to come up with something. I had a new staff member who had just retired as a colonel in the U.S. Army. And I said, you know, I'm looking for a symbol of teamwork and camaraderie and hard work. And he said, well, in the Army, when his group is getting ready to go into battle, sometimes the general will mint a coin and give it to the people going into the battle as a way of saying, we're in this together. We and only we have these coins, and we'll carry them for the rest of our lives as a reminder of what we did together. I hope you've thought about that, and hope you'll think about that for the rest of your life. This is a memento of what you did together with a very special group of classmates. Some of you put this away and it's still shiny. Others, though, have carried it every day. And because you carried it every day, it's kind of banged up and it's got some scars on it. And it doesn't look as shiny or new as it did 4 years ago. And in a way, isn't that kind of like your Albion College education? The reason that you value your education is because of the lumps you took along the way. because it wasn't as easy as you expected, because you got banged up a little bit, but every one of those lumps and every one of those scratches has made you stronger and has given value to your education. And the same way with those scratches have given extra value and extra meaning to that coin. You've done remarkable work. We're so very proud of you. Sometime along the way in your first year, I hope you had dinner at my house. I tried to invite all of you to come and talk about your experience at Albion College, or what your experience was going to be like. And one of the things that I talked to you about was this idea that it was going to be a lot harder than you expected. Remember, I asked you to raise your hand if the first 2 weeks had been easier than you expected, and about a third of you raised your hands. And then I said, for how many of you it has been harder than you thought? And about another third of you raised your hands, and about a third had guessed just about right on what college was going to be like. But then I told you that by the time you graduated, every one of you would admit that Albion College had been harder than you expected. And we talked about why that was the case and how life would get so complicated and so messy. And then I told you that sometime in the next 4 years, you would be really struggling. And when you struggled, there were lots of things that you might do, but what you really needed to do was turn to a friend, turn to a classmate, and they would help pull you through. And then you could remember that friend for the rest of your life, knowing that without them, you might not have gotten a college degree. Without them, you might not have become a physician or a lawyer or a teacher. And that you at graduation would owe them an incredible debt of gratitude. And so I hope today that during the joys of graduation, you also think about some of those struggles and think about the classmates that pulled you through, the classmates that were so important to them, and make sure that you find an opportunity to thank them. I also reminded you that sometime in the 4 years, the shoe would be on the other foot, and a friend of yours would need your guidance and your encouragement. I hope you had an opportunity to do that. What a very special thing to have done in life, to have helped someone get a college degree with your good and kind words. Reflect on that generosity of spirit that you showed and feel just a bit of special pride in what you accomplished. All of those things happened so very long ago. But let's think about today. Today, you're sad and happy. You are relieved and nervous. You are confident and worried. For lack of a better term, we say that you are nostalgic. Those of us who have been through 30 or 40 or 50 of these graduations still wonder at the mix of emotions we experience each year. We have placed our hopes for the future of civilization in those of you who sometimes slept through your 10 o'clock class or missed assignment deadlines. But we know that you have the character and tools to be women and men of impact. We are a bit nervous. We know that the challenges ahead will be greater than anything we were able to throw at you in the classroom, on the stage, in the laboratory, or on the athletic field. But we are confident because we send with you the mysterious power of a liberal arts education. We believe in you, and we believe in what Albion has done for you. So we look forward to the better world you will help create. Good men and women, it is time to quietly slip from the college you love so well. Good women and men who will soon be from Albion College, it is time for you to burst with joy into the bright future you are creating for all of us.